I know I've not made a video in a very long time, and I know this is something that people wouldn't see on my birthday, and I didn't think this would happen. This is just like one of those like silly, oh, okay. This is like one of those silly little videos that I would make. I'm not gonna like make it like so crazy if I'm covering, it's because I'm hitting my vape. Just need to get this off. Oh, okay. So I'm just gonna start off the video just looking at a screen by letting everyone know what's going on. This is just a statement, honestly. I know people think I'm a liar, so I made a statement on a situation that happened to me a really long time ago. Not a really long time ago, not even a year ago, but I just wanted to let everyone know what was going on because I know I recently put my foot down, so it's just not, it's gonna like turn into something that it shouldn't turn into. I'm just gonna protect myself and make the statement before anything. So if you see me looking down, it's because I just took an hour writing all of this. You see the new piercings? Anyway, so I'm gonna start by this script. So there's gonna be a lot of spelling mistakes due to text to speech orientation. You know what, not even orientation, but speech to text. So during May to June 2025, I had met this person by the name of Jelani Harry. Jelani had a weird vibe from the get-go, but I'm not a judgmental person, so I had asked him to exchange numbers in a friendly and very platonic manner because I did not have friends in my city, the town that I live in. I had given Jelani my phone so he could put his phone number in my contacts, and Jelani would then put heart emojis and eggplant emojis in his contact as he's putting his phone number in my phone. And I had changed it right off the bat, which I did not document for the main purpose of the fact I did not know that the situation was going to get any further. Mind you, we just met an hour ago during one of my 8 to 4 shifts, and if you want, a timeline, this would be around the mid-end to the end of May, because I had an 8 to 4 shift, and I had met him around 3 o'clock right before my shift ended. I'd showed him my ID. This is added on. I'd showed him my ID. We'll get into that a little bit later. We'll get into it now. Jelani would make very inappropriate and odd comments saying that I looked 12, and most likely I was 12 and did not believe me when I had mentioned that I had just turned 18 and I just graduated from high school. Not even a month prior to this, and I had only just turned 18 a few months ago. He was 22. People will not see the problem with this. The problem was I was barely 18. I'm almost 20 now, but the fact that I was literally freshly 18, like I wasn't even there yet. I was right here. I'm right over here now. So I showed Jelani my ID because Jelani said I looked 13, 12. So I pulled out my ID and he was like, you look 12, blah, blah, blah. My coworker, who was his friend, said that I wouldn't be there if I was, like, a minor, and he, like, would accuse me of being a minor, which was really weird, on top of that. So, as this may not be illegal, but it's very but it's very weird, a girl with her first job, freshly graduating out of high school, freshly turned into an adult, a legal adult, being preyed on by a grown-ass man for way more of a grown-ass adult than I was. Like, I was still in my childlike mentality, which thankfully I'm no longer in anymore. By the way, for everyone who's about to turn 18, most likely for the, first 3 to 6 months, you might still have a child mentality. It's different for everybody, but I didn't have I never had, a child mentality, but I did, because I was a kid. But when I was 6 months into being 18, that's when I was like, whatever, fuck you. Anyway, for the first few weeks that he was in my life, he would go to my job every day and would nonstop stare at me, and it turned into verbal harassment and stalking. I'm talking going in there when I'm on shift, leaning over the counter, staring at me, saying, "What's up, mamas?" Blah, blah, blah. By the way, mamas is like a word you use for significant other. Mind you, he uses the same exact pet names, which I say in the statement, the same exact pet names as he uses on my ex-best friend, which we will get into. He would try to claim that he was their first friend who I had worked with, but in reality he did not pay much mind or attention to the coworker, more or so, trying and paying more attention to me. And mind you, I had known him for 2 days, and he started to hit on me, which made me feel uncomfortable, and I started to notice, and I still cannot tell if this is coincidental or not, any place that I would go, but every place that I would go, he would be there smiling, he'd be there staring at me, almost everywhere, and that made me extremely uncomfortable. There was even one incident which I have documented proof of him texting me right after he saw me at the grocery store telling me I was beautiful, which made me feel violently fucking uncomfortable. Now, I went to the grocery store. I called out of work one day because I had a migraine. And I will show you. This was June 7th, 2025. Damn, okay, I miss you. Aw, my bad for the late reply. I've been resting. You at work? Nah. I called out. I'll call you right back, because he would non-stop spam call me. He would non-stop FaceTime me. He would spam me. He would try to blow up my phone. Not by messages, obviously. He wanted me to share my location with him, which was fucking weird. Okay, and this is when I saw him. You look nice. I do not. LMFAO, was that you? Yes, you do, and yes, it was. You do, though. I said thank you because I'm a fucking decent human being, by the way. So, I want to show you... Hey, mama, are you okay? That was on June 6th. So, he said, I miss you. And then I said, aw. And you can see he put a heart on there. Not that it means anything. I do it all the time. I said, hey, no, hold on. On June 3rd, he said, hey, mama, what you doing? I said, eating a donut, because I was at fucking work. What about you? Without me? Okay, fuck you. 3 days of knowing him, I had FaceTimed him, and immediately from the jump, this is true, by the way, we're in the start of June. He had asked me if I'm single, which in his words, he said, you single? I said, why? He said, I want to take you out, and then he switched his story saying that his friend was single. He asked me if I'm single and a virgin, and started talking about sex, which I had confided that would make me uncomfortable. He would then start rationalizing the fact that I still have my virginity, which is also extremely sexualizing and full bland out weird. Mind you, when PDF, the thing of PDF files is the biggest hints of PDF files. I'm 18. Obviously, it wasn't illegal, but the thing is, I was fresh out of high school. I was freshly 18. I was so fucking innocent. Still am. Like, and I'm small and weak to him. I'm not fucking weak, but those are like very childlike things, and like small, like the if you just look, and if you I'm about to pull out the propaganda. If you look at the fucking Epstein files, bro, like, look at the motherfucking Epstein files. I can't talk with these are like 3 hours old, mind you. So my talking is gonna get a little weird. Anyway, so just keep that in mind. Keep the early signs of pedophilia, which we can actually go and look up right now. So, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Early signs of pedophilia. pedophilia, which we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna read this out. Pedophilia is a psychiatric disorder defined as a persistent sexual attraction to children. Ready? Boundary violations, unnecessary touching, tickling, lap-sitting, massages, ignoring someone's discomfort or no, especially a child, creating excuses to be physically close, unusual fixation on childlike behaviors, grooming behaviors, giving special gifts, money, or favors, secret communication, text DMs, encouraging secrony, which Jay did, sexualized comments or jokes about youth. It goes on, basically. I'm not going to get into that, though, because it's not what I'm here for. He would then start rationalizing about the fact that I still have my virginity to his friends and to other people, which is also extremely sexualizing and full bland out fucking weird. I started talking to who was my best friend. I'm name dropping, public information. This is not invasion of privacy, by the way. This is not harassment. If anything, I was harassed. I started to talk to who was my best friend, Gabriella, who had met him days after and started hanging out with him and started ditching me, which was petty high school arguments, and I noticed behaviors was becoming a little more weirder as they gotten together on June 1st. So, can we go back to the days and the dates and the timeline? If they got together on June 1st, 2025... Oh, ow. Oh. Ow. The silence tells you everything. Anyway. Let's get back to where we were. He would call me mommy, mama, and various other pet names, which not only did I give him no consent to, did I not give him consent to, but it made me extremely uncomfortable due to the fact that months after he would call Gabby the same exact pet names. He would then try to peer pressure me to go out with dates with him, such as the movies, the lake, bowling. I would then break contact and give cues that I do not want to talk to him, nor did I want to be around him after a few weeks of enduring his behavior. So we're definitely still in the start of June, because I only knew him for 3 weeks. Now around the summer timeline, I noticed when I cut him off, he started dating Gabby, which, by the way, one of the signs of a stalker is when they cannot get to you, they will get something as close to you as possible. I also want to mention that people who were friends with Jay, who are no longer friends with Jay, aka Jelani, have mentioned to me that he would degrade Gabby. Gabby was my best friend for 4 years. We are no longer friends. I do not want her in my life anymore. I tried to protect her. I fought for her. I fought with her on fucking top of that. And not only is she very stubborn and does not understand, but dismissed me only of the sole fact that I lacked evidence, when in reality, I didn't lack evidence. When you want to bring something to court, you can't just, Anyway, on top of that, we were arguing. Anyway.
I need some stuff out of here.
Anyway, oh lord, okay. Anyway, who was my best friend? I had to stop talking due to the fact that she started dating someone who was being extremely creepy and predatory towards me. After I cut them off, on Father's Day, I noticed a phone number had contacted me telling me that I was fine. Turns out it was an individual that knew Jelani, one of Jay's close friends, that was trying to hit me up, which I was absolutely not doing. I do believe if I have a very quick mind, I can definitely show some evidence. Yeah, this is not gonna be anywhere in here. So, hey, what's up? This was on June 15th. Hey, what's up? Who's this? I'm not gonna lie, you friend, this is a week after I blocked Jelani off of everything and I told him to fuck off. Gave me your number, and I low-key want to get to know you and shit. What friend? Gabby. Mind you, Gabby did not know or had my phone number at the time. Still doesn't tell me who the fuck you are. I'm Jeremy, but I go by Jay. I'm not friends with Gabby anymore. She stood me up. I don't like people like that. I don't know who you are. Don't contact my phone number. Then it clicked. So then I also said, oh, you're Jay's friend. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't associate with them, and I don't associate with Gabby anymore. You're blocked. Do not contact me until Jay and Gabby the same. Yes, that's what I'm fucking doing, if you want to know. So, I should have said this a while ago. Screenshot and flip the screenshot, like, you know what I mean? Because I'm not editing. I'm not editing for y'all. I really am not. Anyway, which I was absolutely not doing. I also noticed that Jelani would tell people to lie, saying that Gabriella would give out my phone number to these guys, which in reality, she did not have my phone number at this time. So I immediately knew that it was Jelani. This incident happened on Father's Day of 2025, specifically June 15th, 2025. This is when I had made my final statement of telling the person to not contact me again until Gabriella and Jay, Jelani Harry, fuck you, the same thing. A few months passed by me, and me and Gabriella became friends again, and I had asked her nicely to keep Jelani out of my life and to separate us entirely due to my experience, which she had dismissed on multiple occasions. Okay, so context. We stopped talking in June. Then I saw her around August, right before I left Duncan, because that's where I worked. Then we started hanging out in the, end of August to, September. And I told her, I don't want Jelani with you. I don't want to be near Jelani. You can still have your relationship because you do what you fucking want. And it wasn't ever me trying to control her. It wasn't ever me trying to, be that kind of friend. I experienced something not only terrifying, but very creepy. And I did not want my best friend going through the same thing, and I didn't want to tie myself into that shit. I was a crime, a forensics fanatic, too, in high school. So, I could have gotten fucking, come on. So, recently it's come to my knowledge that Jelani would purposely... Jelani impregnated Gabby, and she had a traumatic experience. Jelani did not give a fuck. Mind you, Jelani has a kid in New York, and he went and met somebody in New York of December 31st, 2025. And would do very nasty things to Gabriella and would brag about it to various people. And these people have contacted me, and I will not be naming them for privacy and their peace. End court. Duh. Anyway, I had also noticed a story that Gabriella had gotten pregnant and Jelani had left her alone, which she went through one of the most traumatic experiences of her life, which I was guilty for not being there, but unfortunately I had to protect my peace, and on top of that, I was not aware due to the fact that this is when we were not talking. I do not know the exact timeline that this happened. I'm going to technically assume, June to July. Because there was posts that she was in the hospital during that time. She confided that to me. I know people are going to be like, oh, you're invading her, blah, blah, blah. When you get into the story, you're going to start to realize, and you're also going to connect the pieces, that Gabriella is a huge enabler and did not give two fucks about me. Jelani would hit up multiple girls while in a relationship with Gabby, making very nasty statements, even texting an ex-girlfriend of his that he missed having her in his mouth, which is absolutely disgusting. I also have audio recording of an individual by the name of Chelsea who had said that Jelani hit her up to have smoke buddies, but then would proceed to hit on her, which I do not have documentation of that because I did not ask, nor does she want to provide. I did ask her. She didn't have the messages. I have the audio, but that's invasion of privacy to someone that I don't even fucking know, so I'm not going to play it. And again, when this gets brought to court, or whatever I'm gonna do, whatever I choose to do, I don't believe I can post the evidence unless the case is over, which we're processing that. This is just chapter 1. I started enduring Jelani again due to the solid fact that Gabriella was not respecting me and I had given him a second chance, although this would be my worst mistake ever. Every time I would go over to Gabriella and Jay's house, always be him trying to push me out of the room multiple times. On November 15th, 16th of 2025, on November 15th, 2025, around the afternoon to the late evening, Jelani said he was getting dressed. And I said, go use the bathroom. Then he got up and started pushing me here, pushing me, and kept Gabriella in there after I told her, hey, let's go wait for Jelani. Jay would then try to grab my arm and take me out like a goddamn motherfucking security guard. What? Anyway. It would always be him trying to push me out of the room multiple times. He has pushed me and on multiple times. He has grabbed me, in fact. On November 16th, can you get out of my life for once? On November 16th, 2025, Gabby went to go use the bathroom. Gabby wanted me to go into the bathroom. Jay immediately pushed me out of the way and pushed me. I fell on the floor. Then it happened again. I packed my shit. I bought a lift, and I fucking Irish goodbyed. We had a sleepover, by the way, and I Irish goodbyed. Mind you, Irish goodbyed. Which, if you don't know what an Irish goodbye is, you just say nothing and just leave. Because... what? Anyway. Putting his hands on me, I also caught him looking down at me, checking me out, and non-stop staring at me once more, so bad to the point where he had the audacity to demand me to set up my gaming console in my own home when I was hosting a holiday dinner with my friends, and then he would break boundaries and house rules. This was around the end of November. This was a Friendsgiving dinner. I had food. And not only did Gabby and Jay brought people I did not fucking know, and would be like, can he come? I mean, he doesn't have a fucking choice at this point. So yeah, the night after I hosted, it was Mel, Jelani, Gabriella, and the guy who texted me, Jeremy, mind you. They brought the guy who Jelani gave my number unconsensually without my permission to hit on me to my fucking house 6 months later. And when I went in my bathroom, I have my own apartment. I had just gotten this apartment at this month. My own apartment, by the way. I pay all my bills. I'm king shit in my world. Because I do everything, mind you. So, let me think about how I'm gonna phrase this. I walk in there. I always have like wipes, because we're not dirty in this household. So I had wipes, and I noticed that the lid was off, and a shit ton of them were taken out. My toilet paper was fucked up. Feminine products of mine were missing. Right? Right. I'm not pointing fingers, but I noticed the damage in my house. Mind you, no one offered to clean. No one offered to help whatsoever. They all just left. Which is disrespectful, by the way, and that's why I don't like people in my house. I also can't have people in my house, by the way. I was hosting a holiday dinner with my friends, and he would then break boundaries and house rules. Such as fucking cooking in my own fucking house. I then came to the realization that Jelani had a kid. I had confided to Gabriella due to the amount of abuse. Mind you, this is on December 31st. We found out from a friend who was a snake. We all found out. At the same time. And as much as Gabby was devastated, she went back. Cheated on her multiple times. I confided to Gabriella due to the amount of abuse and trauma that she had went through with this man, and the fact of this man, and the fact that the first thing that happened was a situation with me that she should leave him. I was not pushy, but I was not going to let my best friend swallow herself in a domestic abusive relationship. Now, I have never ever witnessed Gabriella or Jay putting hands on each other, but I very severely suspected due to the main factor of Jelani putting his hands on me and his behaviors. Jelani also has 100% management and monitoring of Gabriella's phone, and things would disappear, and the blame was persuaded onto me, and it almost ended our friendship multiple times because she would be convinced that I would go on her phone, so bad to the point where Gabby found images and videos deleted off of her phone, then told a friend. That friend went, she's so toxic and goofy, and I bet that was her. Like, we are grown fucking women. We are grown-ass adults acting like goddamn high schoolers. Why would I go through someone else's phone? Mind you, the only time I ever went in her gallery was when I was trying to show her the recently deleted, because iPhone has, I'm sure Android has this, I haven't had an Android in years, but iPhone has this thing where you basically can have deleted photos and videos, and it will take up your storage. So I showed it to her, saw something I shouldn't have saw, I gave her the phone right back to her, and I apologized to her, and we hugged. Like, hello? It almost ended our friendship multiple times, because she was convinced that I would go on her phone, but in reality it was Jelani, and Jelani deleting things, and Jelani obviously deciding to end and cut evidence. Whatever he was doing. The night of New Year's, Jelani met up with a girl behind Gabriella's back, and Gabriella insisted to retaliate against me, accused me of a very weird accusation, which story did not line up nor did make any sense whatsoever. I fought for her and told her I was there to protect her, and I was not here for trouble. This is when I had found out that Gabriella had dismissed my situation and what I had experienced because I did not have sex with him. And that she was more validated, and she was more valid because she had sex with him, and she could do whatever the fuck she wants. I was not there for trouble, things calmed down, and Gabriella started to lie to me. I thought she was done for good, and then I noticed that she had continued to lie, so she had claimed I'd spread blasphemy on Jay, which meant that she did not believe me when I told her my experience, and on top of that, it seemed she never cared about me nor cared about anything but herself and Jelani. I have two theories of this, by the way. I honestly believe that it's either Gabby thinks I'm jealous and want him, which is no. Jelani is disgusting. I have a boyfriend. At the time of the start of the situation, I then still had a boyfriend, which I had broken up with months ago, and I have a new one. Why would I want Jelani when I'm sitting here chasing another guy, which in reality I wasn't even chasing him, I was just interested in him, and I copped him. I can pull any man I want. Why the fuck would I want Jelani's nasty, dirty, fucking self? Why would I want a pedophile? Anyway. I recently put my foot down and cut off me and Gabriella's friendship, due to the fact that I understand what Gabriella truly is, and I hope this isn't who she truly is, but with the trauma and the heart is doing to her, I have to cut contact from myself. I was not going to indulge myself in any of the drama on my birthday. Self-fucking-centered, perchance? People want to make everything about themselves, and it's unfortunate, but I pray that they find peace. This post, this statement, is to spread what is really going on, and I will let everyone know that I'm currently trying to start a case. My point is, Gabriella is an enabler of abuse, is an enabler of a lot of disgusting activities. Jay is a stalker creep weirdo, and most likely a pedophile, which I cannot prove, therefore, because of the fact that pedophilia is something in somebody that's attracted to kids. But the fact that Jelani thought I was a kid, rationalized that I was and sexualized me being a virgin, rationalized how I was weak, submissive, etc., are main factors of somebody attracted to someone underage, because that's what kids are. That's what kids are, like, investigated in psychology. Notice how a lot of guys like them, like, baby face and, like, unnatural. Do you guys try to, like, see what I'm trying to, like, talk about, like, without even saying it properly? Like, there's main factors. If you experience someone like that, I'm a victim. I don't like to proclaim myself as a victim, but I hope you guys understand, like, what I'm trying to say, like, the signs of it, not just obvious, like, oh, kid, like, other factors, the dark, deep psychology of it. This is not just some weird fucked up post. I am a victim. I do not proclaim or like to call myself that, but the fact that the situation has gotten so far to the point where I have to make a statement is very unfortunate and cruel on both parties. Fuck you, and fuck you for supporting that. What is wrong with you, Gabby? You are not the girl. That is not my best friend, because my best friend wouldn't do that. Anyway, this is just, like, a statement, basically, like, saying that I, like, don't want contact with Gabby anymore. You can just read everything. I don't even give a fuck. So, yeah, that's my statement. That's the only statement I'm gonna make. Sorry I came up here with drama. It's not even drama. It's just weird shit. Happy 19th birthday to me, I guess, and that's about it. See ya.